Hi, I'm Paul Miles, and you join me at TU-Automotive Detroit 2019. And today I'm with Stephen Lesh. He's at the Uber Advanced Technology Group. Hi, Stephen. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Now, testing autonomous vehicles. They've had problems in the past. How do we currently look at the challenges with testing?
I think a lot of the industry is really headed towards a multimodality mode, and that's definitely where Uber's at, a combination of simulation, track testing, and on-road testing. And I think one of the real challenges with that is figuring out which order to do those in. At ATG, we start in simulation, and then we move to the track, and then we move on road. And I think one thing that people don't really think about is a lot of self-driving testing is very different than collision mitigation, which that type of work you definitely need to do at the track. You're only doing false positives on the road. A lot of self-driving is actually maneuvering the car comfortably for the passenger through the road network, following the maps and other things. And so we definitely also concentrate things that are around like avoidance of pedestrians or bikes to the track, and then concentrate on the road and testing sensor perception and how the car is driving itself.
Excellent. And obviously we know that regulation really comes into this sphere. It's heavily regulated at the moment. What challenges does that pose for testers like you?
Yeah, so I think it's a huge challenge in a couple areas. One is the design of the car itself, because FMVSS hasn't been updated for cars without controls. And then there's also how we regulate the driving itself, which is historically, the states have historically done the driver's licenses. At Uber, we feel like this is something that the industry really needs to get involved in. We're trying to actively start and participate in consortiums, because some of the things we mentioned in testing, especially the simulation, is something that historically the governments have not used in their regulations, and we really think it's beholden of the industry to bring that technology forward and offer up how that could be used in regulation.
Yeah, fair enough. And just looking at the cost of all this, now obviously creating autonomous vehicles, testing autonomous vehicles, it's a huge bill at the end of the day. How can we monetize this, and when? When do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, we think about costs and cost per mile, because what we've seen in transportation, getting people from A to B on the Uber network, it's very sensitive to cost. And so as we think about putting together a network between like bikes, scooters, human-driven cars, autonomously driven cars, connection to public transportation hubs, to really make autonomous vehicles viable, we'll have to get them to a cost per mile where they can basically insert into that network and create like this end-to-end experience for the user. And so because of that, we think that likely the first monetization of these will be in a fairly small operational domain, where you're complementing with other forms of transportation, and some of the costs and development costs of like having a car that can drive anywhere in the world, like a true level 5, will be further out in the future. So we want to kind of do a step-by-step approach to start to monetize the technology that's ready, and then continue to develop the future iterations that allow the car to do more and more in the world.
Excellent. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
talking to me.
thank you.
Thank you.
Great.